What are Jungkook and Taehyung really facing behind the smiles, the silence, and the subtle changes that ARMY can't ignore anymore? Is this just growth, or a quiet storm waiting to break? ARMY begins to ask, what are they really facing? The subtle changes in Jungkook and Taehyung that are making fans uneasy. What if the silence is louder than any statement? What if the calm smiles, the measured words, and the almost invisible shifts in behavior are not signs of peace, but signals? These are the questions echoing across the global ARMY community right now, whispered in comment sections, debated in late-night group chats, and felt deeply in the hearts of fans who have followed Jungkook and Taehyung not just as idols, but as human beings growing up under the most intense spotlight imaginable. Something feels different. Not dramatically different. Not explosively obvious. But different enough to make millions pause and ask the same uneasy question. What are Jungkook and Taehyung really facing right now? At first glance, everything seems normal. The schedules continue. The public appearances are polished. The smiles are still there, warm and familiar. Yet ARMY, a fandom known for its emotional intelligence and attention to detail, has begun to notice changes so subtle they almost feel forbidden to talk about. A quieter tone here. A longer pause there. Eyes that seem thoughtful, even heavy, in moments that used to be filled with carefree energy. These are not accusations. They are observations. And in the world of BTS, observations often lead to deeper truths. Jungkook, once known universally as the embodiment of youthful enthusiasm, the golden magne who laughed loudly and moved freely, now carries a different aura. It is not sadness in the obvious sense. It is something more complex, a maturity that feels earned through pressure rather than time. His words, when he speaks, feel more deliberate. His presence feels grounded, but also guarded, as if he has learned that every emotion displayed becomes public property within seconds. Fans are asking themselves, is this growth or is it protection? Taehyung, on the other hand, has always been an enigma. Artistic, introspective, emotionally expressive in ways that defy conventional idol expectations. But even for him, something has shifted. His expressions feel deeper, his silences longer, his gaze often drifting beyond the camera as if lost in thoughts he chooses not to share. When Taehyung smiles now, ARMY notices how it sometimes arrives slowly, like a decision rather than a reflex. And that is what unsettles fans the most. Since when did smiling become a choice instead of a natural reaction? The unease does not come from rumors or scandals. It comes from empathy. ARMY has grown alongside BTS, learning to read between the lines because BTS themselves taught them to do so through years of honest storytelling. From songs about burnout and self-doubt to candid conversations about fear and pressure, BTS has always invited fans into their emotional world. That invitation, however, comes with responsibility. When fans sense something is off, they cannot simply ignore it. What makes this moment particularly intense is the lack of clear answers. There is no official statement explaining these changes. No dramatic headline that explains everything away. Instead, there is a quiet space filled with questions. Are Jungkook and Taehyung dealing with pressures we cannot see? Are they navigating personal crossroads that come with adulthood, fame, and identity? Or are they simply evolving in ways that feel unfamiliar to fans who still hold on to earlier versions of them? Fame, especially at the level BTS has reached, is not a static experience. It changes people. It reshapes priorities. It demands constant negotiation between authenticity and expectation. Jungkook and Taehyung entered this world as teenagers, their identities forming under the gaze of millions. Every mistake archived. Every emotion analyzed. Every silence questioned. Over time, that kind of exposure teaches survival skills that may look like distance, restraint, or emotional economy. ARMY's unease is rooted in love, not entitlement. Fans are not asking for explanations because they feel owed one. They are asking because they care. Because they remember the Jungkook who once spoke openly about fear of disappointing others. Because they remember Taehyung admitting that sometimes he feels misunderstood, even by those who adore him. These memories linger, coloring how current behaviors are interpreted. There is also the weight of expectation. Jungkook and Taehyung are not just artists, they are symbols. Jungkook represents relentless effort and boundless potential. Taehyung represents artistic freedom and emotional honesty. When symbols shift, people notice. And when they notice, they wonder if the weight of being a symbol has finally become too heavy. Some fans speculate that what we are witnessing is a quiet recalibration. A period where Jungkook and Taehyung are redefining who they are outside the versions of themselves that the world fell in love with years ago. Growth is rarely comfortable. It often looks like withdrawal before clarity. It often involves shedding layers that no longer fit. Could it be that this discomfort fans feel is simply the discomfort of watching someone outgrow a familiar shape? Yet even that hopeful interpretation does not erase the emotional tension. Because growth under pressure can hurt. And ARMY knows this. The fandom has seen BTS push themselves to the edge in the past, sometimes admitting only later how difficult certain periods were. That history makes fans more alert, more sensitive to warning signs that others might dismiss as overthinking. There is also the reality of silence in the entertainment industry. Not all struggles are meant to be shared publicly. Jungkook and Taehyung may be carrying burdens that have nothing to do with scandals or conflicts, and everything to do with internal battles that cannot be packaged into digestible narratives. The problem is that silence, while protective, invites speculation. And speculation, even when born from concern, can become a source of additional pressure. Emotionally, ARMY finds itself in a strange position, wanting to respect boundaries, yet feeling anxious, wanting to trust that everything is fine, yet sensing that something is unresolved. This tension reflects the unique relationship between BTS and their fans, one built on emotional transparency, but constrained by the realities of fame. When Jungkook looks thoughtful, fans remember his past confessions about anxiety. When Taehyung seems distant, fans recall his reflections on loneliness despite being surrounded by people. These associations are not fair, perhaps, but they are human. Once someone invites you into their emotional story, you cannot simply forget the chapters you have already read. And so the questions continue. Are these subtle changes signs of resilience, or signs of fatigue? Are they learning to protect themselves, or are they struggling with the cost of constant visibility? Is this a temporary phase, or the beginning of a new, quieter era for Jungkook and Taehyung? What makes this moment even more emotionally charged is the absence of drama. There is no villain, no clear conflict. Just two individuals moving slightly differently than before, and millions of people feeling the shift in their bones. That is perhaps the most unsettling part, because it reminds everyone that even in the absence of chaos, something meaningful can still be happening beneath the surface. ARMY's anxiety is not about losing access. It is about fearing that Jungkook and Taehyung might be carrying something heavy alone. Fans know they cannot fix anything. They know their role is limited. Yet the desire to understand remains strong, because understanding feels like a form of care. In the end, perhaps the most honest answer to the question ARMY keeps asking is also the most uncomfortable one. We do not fully know what Jungkook and Taehyung are facing. And maybe we are not supposed to. Maybe all we are meant to do is notice, feel, and continue to support without demanding clarity. Still, the unease lingers. Because subtle changes often precede bigger conversations. Because silence often comes before truth. And because Jungkook and Taehyung have always been more transparent than the industry requires, making their current restraint feel especially loud. So ARMY waits, watches, feels, and asks, quietly but persistently, what lies beneath the surface of these gentle shifts. Is this the calm before a revelation? Or simply the sound of two artists growing into themselves, even if that growth feels unfamiliar to those watching? If you feel this tension too, if you've caught yourself replaying moments and wondering what they mean, you're not alone. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think ARMY is witnessing growth, struggle, or something in between? Like this article if it resonated with you. And subscribe for deeper discussions that look beyond the surface.